All right, we're going to make a cant hook handle. It's going to be very basic and rustic. We're going for rustic here. I'll get myself some good hardwood blinks of some kind and do this, but we need to turn a log, so I need to make at least one out of the jaws that I have. The thing on the left is probably closer to the right size, but too crooked. So we'll have to draw a knife her down a little bit, peel it up, see what we can do. Maybe it'll end up on a crooked handle, I don't care. But we'll see what we got. I found a draw knife, Cody had it. I think I should have cut the first birch I looked at. I think it would have been straighter, but I ain't cutting another one for no reason. We'll do this. All right, well, I'm just making a bigger mess in my mess here, but the sawmill's got to get out and this car's got to get out, and then we can do something in here. It's starting to irritate me a bit, but we got this is not going to be the greatest handle. We all know that. We're talking about green piece of white birch. Just figure I'd show you what I'm doing. This isn't going to be too far off when I get this peeled down. I should be able to get that somewhere up there where the jaw's about right. I don't know if I'm going to put a piece of pipe down here with a couple of spikes on it or what. We'll see when we get to that. Just figured I'd give you a little clip of what I'm doing. And it's crooked and rustic. All right, so I got to cut some off of this yet. Figure if I'm going to put something on the end. Be nice if I could find some ends. The problem with what I'm doing is cant hook handles are tapered from the handle end down to the jaw. And you put them on that way. So both of these are tapered wrong for what I'm trying to do. So I cut it down on the, tapered it down there some and went up to here. I stuck this in here so it doesn't go forward, and this old thing does have a bit of a crack in it, so I don't know about that, but if it works for flopping things around, let's see if I can fall off the icy log pile. We need to cut the end off, and it should have a, well, there you go. Things aren't right. For turning on that, I'm probably standing where you can't even see anything. For turning on that sawmill, if I cut it off above the jaw here, I mean, that's not huge, but it's good enough for our logs. If I cut it off, I'll have to taper. I'm thinking a piece of 2-inch pipe on there. I just don't know how involved I want to get. This is going to shrink and everything's going to get loose. This I know. We're making a temporary turner. Wonder if they make cant hook handles. Could measure the eyes on these jaws here and see if I can buy something that would fit. I can buy a steel handled one. Could make a steel handled one out of these, but I kind of like wood. We'll go see where we go from here. Well, this is why I can't get nothing done. I'm digging through Cody's pile there thinking, well, maybe there is a handle end for a cant hook, and I come across this block I don't know that I ever seen this before. I'm guessing maybe he pulled it out of the old hay barn. Back in the day, my parents' big hayfield, hay fields, that chunk of property, they put up loose hay and then stationary baled it in the winter for logging camps. The guy never had any cows there. He's actually more famously known for owning the last tavern on Old US 2 going out of Bessemer towards Ironwood. But he made and sold hay. So I don't know where he pulled this out of, but Turbine Sewer Machine Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Never heard of it. Just a little single block. Pretty neat. Yeah, this is getting pretty hacky. I had this idea I was going to put this piece of 2-inch. This was on the boiler. It's probably been sitting in the same place on the shelf for 12 years. I figured, well, that would drive on there. This was long, remember? Well, I had to whittle that down too much to get that on fairly tight. So now the 2-inch ID pipe was too small. So then I had this idea, I'm going to put this bushing on there. I got so much black iron pipe and fittings. I mean, that's 1.5 to 2 inch. What am I going to do with that? I put this coupling on there that was laying right next to it in that bin. This is EMT. It bottoms out on there. It won't get tight. I thought about maybe jamming in it. I was going to put it on there and then slot it, bend up a couple of hooks there, and that was going to be our little teeth. But like I said, it's a very rough setup. I don't know. I might still go with that chunk of EMT. I could tack it. I don't know how this is going to hold. My idea is when this shrinks, I'm going to be able to tighten this a little bit and squeeze it, move it a turn or two up. It's probably not going to work. It's probably just going to come loose, but we'll get something better someday. This is so we can flop this around, get some cutting starting. Okay, so I ground the back of the EMT, figured I just bottom it out on that coupling. Welded the back, because of course they're cracking when you bend them over like that. I don't know if it focuses, but that don't work. The geometry is all wrong. It'll never grab with the... So, honestly, this hits right on a log like it should. For what we're doing, it's staying like that. You can maybe drive something in the edge of there, but it's for flopping cants around on a sawmill for the first test running. It is what it is. All right. There is the ugly thing. I'm ashamed to have made it. Let's roll this log. See where that hits? That's loose bark. I can see it rolling a log on the sawmill. That's all it needs to do. Not the prettiest thing, but yeah, I guess a lot of my stuff isn't. I get it to do the job. Now I'm gonna go in, see about my bean soup. Mandy's all excited. She likes soup. A ham and bean, and I don't know, I guess I'll work on that sawmill. That sure ain't warming up, but we're gonna call this a video, whatever long it is. I'm sure it's longer than I intended. Thanks for watching, and sawmill coming soon.